What's up guys, welcome to this POV review by AutoTopNL. My name is Max and today we're taking a look at this Porsche Panamera Turbo Sport Turismo. And well, we went for a drive yesterday and shot some driving footage in the rain and the hail, so it's quite dirty. So I have to clean it anyway, so I thought why not do a walk around and at the same time clean it and show you some features of this Sport Turismo. So let's put in some coins here. Okay, so that's 6 minutes. We'll start with active foam and it's over there. So let's start with this half of the car and make a cool thumbnail as well. Of course, this side of the car is also the coolest part of the car, I think, with that sort of shooting brake rear end. So we've got 21-inch wheels over here with ceramic brakes, which are optional, 8-piston brake calipers, and they work really well. As standard you get steel brakes and 20-inch I believe. So at the front it's just a regular Panamera really. The only difference really is that rear end, which just looks so awesome. So especially from here you can see that roof line, that shooting brake, that breadth van rear end. And of course we've got a rear spoiler here. So you don't get the cool Panamera turbo spoiler, you know, that comes out and folds out. But you get this little roof spoiler that comes up and has a bigger angle when you need it. Switch to high pressure wash with shampoo. And I have to change the gun. So we'll take this one. So let's rinse this off and we'll get inside. Okay, so that's that. Let's get in. And let me show you some cool stuff in here. So you've seen, I hope you've seen the review we made of the regular Panamera Turbo S e-hybrid. So you've seen the interior, it's lovely. We've got a brown leather today with beautiful brown suede on the roof and on the A-pillars. We've got carbon fiber as well. And this is the options list. What do we have that is interesting? Well, we have the Sports Chrono pack. That's this clock on top, and it also means that you get launch control. We've got rear axle steering, so all-wheel steering, four-wheel steering. We've got Porsche ceramic composite brakes, ambient lighting. We've also made a night POV, so if you want to see that, click up here. Adaptive cruise control, ventilated seats in the front, interior pack carbon, LED rear lights, panoramic roof, sport design pack with gloss black, sports exhaust with round end pipes, tailpipes in black, Porsche dynamic chassis control sport, including Porsche torque vectoring plus. So that's all the clever suspension stuff. And drivetrain, of course. 21-inch wheels, Panamera sport design, gloss black. And I think that's, oh, and we've got the Burmester 3D high-end surround sound system. So that's it. As I said, there's some serious headroom back there, and especially with this panoramic roof, I think, you know, it's even better. The regular Panamera, you really notice that roofline that goes down over your head, and it feels a bit cramped, whereas this actually feels a lot more spacious. Okay, so let's take it for a drive and see what this car is like on a forest road, and after that we'll take it to the Autobahn. Okay, let's take it for a drive on this lovely road right here. And we are going to start in Sport Plus straight away. So the exhaust opens up, the optional Sport exhaust. Not that it ever gets really loud or anything, but it does add a lovely rumble. Okay, so the Porsche Panamera Turbo Sport Turismo. Let's start with that. The name, I mean, it's a bit long. Imagine if you have a Turbo S hybrid, then it would be Porsche Panamera Turbo S e-hybrid Sport Turismo. It's a bit overdone, I think, but I love it anyway. I'll tell you that straight away. I absolutely love this car. As I said, the looks are incredible. I just think that in here, this interior, especially in this spec with that brown leather, it's just such a lovely place to be. And that added practicality with that slightly bigger boot, it just makes this such a cool car. And yeah, I'm a bit in love. So we are in automatic right now, and it's Sport Plus, so that means we can also use launch control. So we've got a little straight right here, and I'll stop and show you how insane this is. 3.6 seconds to 100. It's a bit wet, so we'll see about the traction. 5,000 RPM. Oh man, there we go. Woo! That is quick. Holy moly. That's another thing I love about, well, almost all Porsches. That launch control is so brutal. It's so violent. It just, bam, it snaps off the line, and you just feel that power being distributed through the front and rear axle. Because normally when you're driving like this, I don't know if you can see this little screen here, but it shows where the power is going. So right now it's about 90% to the rear and 10% to the front. So I'll put it in manual, second gear, and I'll floor it. And you see those white things moving, and it switches to around 50-50 or 60-40 maybe. And that means that even though this car weighs 2,000 kilos, because this is a turbo, you get the Porsche Adaptive Suspension Management, something like that, PASM, as standard. And you get some air suspension. So it's so level, it's so aggressive when you're in Sport Plus. It's low, and it just keeps it so level that it just feels much more nimble than you would expect from a car this size and of this weight. We also have the optional four-wheel steering, so that combined with some clever stuff, it handles like a dream. And you know, in combination with that all-wheel drive system, you can just floor it so soon. So after driving the Porsche Panamera Turbo SE Hybrid, the normal one, the coupe, I thought, well, it was really impressive. The drivetrain is super cool as well, and it's really fast, it's really powerful. That electric boost is noticeably more powerful than this one, the standard turbo. Because in this car, if you floor it, you've got some turbo lag, and in the e-hybrid there was none at all. But you do have to cope with that extra weight, or you as a buyer has to cope with that, because it is a lot heavier. And I don't know if I feel that it's worth it to have that extra power but also have that extra weight. This car, the Sport Turismo, is about 50 kilos I think heavier than the standard one. So yeah, you're not really going to notice that. We also have the PDK gearbox, of course, which is probably the best dual clutch gearbox there is. I mean, everyone is moving away from dual clutches again. The new BMW M5 has a ZF 8-speed gearbox just with a torque converter. But Porsche sticks with this PDK gearbox, and you know, I can't blame them because it's brilliant as always. It just, I'm in manual right now. Yeah, it's really quick. And it works really well in drive as well when you're just cruising along. Man, this thing is quick. You really don't need that Turbo S. So one thing I am struggling with is how to position this car and what to compare it with, because they have sort of created their own segment with this car. Because a Panamera competes with an S-Class or a 7 Series or an A8. But now this is a station car, an estate car. So does this compete with a Mercedes AMG E63S estate? Or is it an S63 AMG estate? I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious to see how you feel about this. Okay, so we've pretty much exhausted the speed limit over here. So let's take it to the Autobahn and see what it's like over there. Welcome to the Autobahn. We are getting on here. Let's get this tunnel first. Woo! Some V8 sound for you. It's not that loud, although we do have the sport exhaust, but it is a good sound. So let's get on here and see what this Porsche Panamera Sport Turismo is like on the Autobahn at high speeds. There we go. Full throttle in 4th gear. It's still a bit wet, but it's dry enough. We are on winter tires, which are limited to 270 kilometers an hour. So if we get to the top speed of 304, I won't be there for long. But let's see what we can do today. So 4-liter V8 bi-turbo, as I said, 550 horsepower, 770 newton meters. 0 to 100 kilometers an hour, 3.8 seconds. 3.6 if you have the sports chrono pack, which we do. And the top speed is actually, I think it's 4 kilometers lower than the standard Panamera Turbo, so the coupe version instead of the estate version. That one is a bit more aerodynamic, apparently, or, you know, obviously. And we have our suspension. Everything is in Sport Plus right now, but I think I'm going to select Sport for the chassis. The rest I'll keep in Sport Plus. Okay, a little gap here. Let's see what we can do. 180, 190, 200, 210, 220. So the sound of the exhaust and the engine, it's there, but it's not that present. You do get some wind noise at these speeds, of course. That's 280 right now. We've got some crosswind, but the car itself is actually really balanced, and we drove the regular Panamera with the hybrid, so the Turbo S hybrid, and that was not that stable at high speeds. This one is really nice. 295, 296, oh, little wind, 297, 298, no, I have to brake. 298. And I don't think I will be able to do any more than that, because it is just, it's a bit busy and the car struggles at high speeds. I remember the S63, for instance, being a lot quicker, but you know, that has 62 horsepower more, so yeah. Okay, so that was close to top speed in the Porsche Panamera Turbo Sport Turismo. And well, doing this, you know, these speeds in a car like this, I just think it's awesome that Porsche built this car, this estate car. I love fast estate cars. I just love them. I think there's something so cool about a car that's, you know, basically about practicality, being able to do stuff like this. So another tunnel. I love me some tunnels. So this is all really impressive. You know, the car is ridiculously quick. We've got the four-wheel steering, and that works together with the Porsche adaptive suspension stuff and the clever anti-roll bars and the traction control and the air suspension and everything like that to deliver the best possible handling. And I mean, this car feels so planted. I think this is the Panamera to have. You have to get that Sport Turismo, and I actually like this turbo better than the e-hybrid, because that just felt too heavy and too unstable at high speeds, and you could, you know, that car is about 300 kilos heavier than the normal turbo, so you are going to feel that. So a bit of a short Autobahn blast, but this really was the maximum I could get out of it. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed this video. You can subscribe by clicking on the little icon in the bottom right corner, and you can follow us on social media. Just search for AutoTopNL and you will find us. And if you want to see more review of the Panamera, for instance the hybrid, Turbo S hybrid, click up here. So thanks guys, bye.